Welcome everybody. My name is Marek, and today we'll hear about the new project that Staffordshire University has available for Newcastle-under-Lyme businesses and wider Staffordshire County districts. We're hoping that we will be finished by 11:45. This webinar is part of the Innovation Enterprise Zone, and as I mentioned, so I'm Marek Hornak. I'm Associate Dean of Employer Partnerships and Enterprise at Staffordshire University. I'm involved with the Innovation Enterprise Zone, and today I'm joined by the Employer Partnerships Development Manager, Steve Hargreaves, who is the Employer Engagement Lead on this particular project. So I will outline the Innovation Enterprise Zone, which is the umbrella we're using for support businesses, whether it's access to skills and development, whether it's training, access to students and graduates, our researchers and experts in particular themes and expertise that we have at university. Innovation Enterprise Zone has a portfolio of several funded or part-funded projects which potentially companies can access. And we also launched the Incubation Accelerator Center on Staffordshire University campus. So we have expertise in many different areas, as you can imagine. The university has in artificial intelligence, energy, smart cities, intelligent transport, digital, and so on, just to name the few. We invested heavily in support for businesses in the past 2 or 3 years. We developed the incubation center. We have 5 or 6 dedicated projects now, which provide companies of different sizes, whether SME, startup, even large, to access support that we can provide through our researchers, knowledge exchange programs, and so on. And at the same time, you could be located on our campus as part of the incubation center or a startup unit. So today's webinar is about the latest project and funding that the university have received through UK government, and it's called Innovation and Productivity Pathfinder. And the main purpose of the project, and this webinar just to outline, is that each of the companies who potentially we partner with will be focused on development of the innovation plans. The project has started already and needs to be completed by June 2022. And the focus is on the Newcastle-under-Lyme companies, but also the wider Staffordshire County districts, which does exclude Stoke-on-Trent because they have a separate pot of funding for the city. So what exactly is on offer? So this project is a pilot. It's a pilot study which government awarded to Staffordshire University, and we partnered with companies through the fully funded 12-week collaborative partnerships between the companies. It can be obviously SMEs, can be large companies, and the university. And what we will partner on, we will make sure that we undertake the innovation diagnostics or innovation mapping. We will try to work with you to uncover or identify where the potential innovations can come from, whether it's a product, whether it's a service, whether it's adoption of technology, improvement of processes, which will then be formalized in an innovation plan. As part of it, each of the businesses has opportunity to send their staff on dedicated training program, a short course in entrepreneurship, which basically is applying entrepreneurship skills, creativity, innovation, understanding the concept of how me as an employee of the company can be more creative. How can I better contribute to value into the business that I work for? So what exactly is available? So we have enough funding to support up to 70 businesses or place up to 70 students, and it's fully funded, and you could benefit from a student or graduate working with you as a student innovation analyst for a period of 12 weeks, where students will work on average about 16 hours a week, and they will be supported by dedicated supervisor or somebody who's having the right expertise in the name of innovation advisor. Those are the people that are working with the university to make sure that you as a company have access to a student graduate, the innovation advisor, and also the wider university's innovation facilities whether it's our 3D printers or some of the prototyping equipment that we have. Each of the staff, as I mentioned, in your company could potentially be trained, fully funded on entrepreneurship. The way the funding, as I mentioned, we're focusing on Newcastle-under-Lyme companies. So provisionally, and this is a provisional, we are looking at partnering with 40 companies in Newcastle-under-Lyme. It can be SMEs, vast majority is SMEs, some are large and also some can be charities. And then wider Staffordshire County districts, so we can go obviously to Burton and south of the county as well. So what we're looking for is to make sure that each of the companies have access to the fully funded support towards the innovation plan development, whether it's product, service or process. And I'll hand over to Steve now to take you through the application process and the stages. Over to you, Steve.
Thanks, Marek. We're delighted to have received the funding for this project. It's very innovative and it's quite different. And from the early indications, it's going to be quite a popular project. So we have got the funding for plenty of businesses, but please get in quite soon. The project does start in February. So we do want you to apply quite soon if you are interested. I want to talk you through the application process, which myself and our team will help you with if you need any support with it. But we've made it quite simple and quite easy. So it's a one-stage process. It's a simple form. It's just filling in your company details, telling us a bit about you as a company and what ideas you may have for innovation. And that's all you need to do, and then send it back to us. If you're eligible, we'll look at your form and give you the award of the funding. The funding will pay for the student or the graduate to work with you for the duration of the project, which is about 12 weeks. It also pays for the innovation advisor as well, who we're recruiting from industry to support the students and add value to the project and your business. So once you do the form, send it back to us at employers@staffs.ac.uk and we'll get back to you with the next steps. We will match you to an innovation advisor and a student. That will be your project team, and that project team then will start with you in a start date in around February, early February. We can start the Staffordshire ones, not the Newcastle ones, a bit later on in March, so we've got a bit more time for those. But if you're a Newcastle business and this sounds like a good opportunity to you, it's at no cost, and please apply as soon as you can and we'll get the ball rolling. Could you go to the next slide, Marek? So the student interest has been really high as well. I think the company interest will be high and the student interest has been high. We actually launched this just before the Christmas break in December. As you can see from the photograph, we had a packed room full of students really keen and wanting these opportunities. So our students are from a variety of courses, and we've listed a few there: business, electronics, life sciences, digital gaming. We've got some excellent talented students here at Staffordshire University. All of them are really keen to add value to your business, and the students will be given full training. And we've already started the training for the students. So the students will be trained on innovation mapping, and they'll be allocated to one of the innovation advisors for ongoing support. So what you're getting is a highly skilled, highly trained student who will offer you some really good support. They've also got access to university equipment and facilities whilst they're on the placement. So we envisage that a lot of the students will be based with yourself, with some remote working, but they can also use the university facilities as well. We've got a great creative lab that they can use for ideas storming with their innovation advisor, and we've got lots of equipment on site for more detailed and planning and design, and lots of good software on our PCs that they can use as well. So you're getting all that as well as the student time. You're getting access to the campus, and the students got access to all the facilities at the university. Next slide, please, Marek. So what are the students going to do when they're with you? So they're going to do the business model canvas first, and that is illustrated on the slide that you can see there. Now, the business model canvas is quite a developed program that's been running for years and years, and lots of businesses will use this to some extent. Some businesses might not know they use it. They might use a simple segment of it, like customer relationships or channels, but they might not use the whole model. So what this student will do with the support of the innovation advisor is they'll go through the business model canvas in great detail and actually find insight of your company that you didn't know yourself. The reason why a lot of companies don't do this is because they don't have the time to do it, and it's really valuable. And I learned this on my MBA, and a lot of business students will learn this in their undergraduate courses, but we'll train all the students in this so they're well versed in this model. As you can see, the model there has several sections. So it highlights your key partners, it highlights your key activities as a business, highlights what your resources are, and what your value proposition is at the moment. And sometimes that's really hard to define. And I think having the time and expertise of the student, the innovation advisor, and spending time with you will really help you to develop this. It'll talk about customer relationships and what good customer relationships you've got at the moment and how you can improve on those, what your channels are, whether that's delivery channels, etc. Then it'll talk about your revenue streams and your cost structure. And all that is really the basis of the business model canvas. And then what we can do from there is go into it in a little bit more detail. So doing that, it may take 3 to 4 weeks of the student's time, but we're quite flexible on how long that will take. But you'll get a very detailed business model canvas that you can use in your business that will give you some real insight to your own business, and you might learn things about your business that you didn't know already. Next slide, please, Marek. And then what they'll go on to do is to use the innovation canvas, which is actually by the Knowledge Transfer Network, which is run by Innovate UK, so a government department that developed this model. As you can see, it looks similar to the other model, but it's actually, you do it afterwards. It's got several sections that they go on to, and most importantly, they look at action points as well and opportunities. And with the opportunities to look at risks, they look at roles, they look at the market, and they look at the needs of the market and to see does the market actually need the products that they've come up with and the new ideas that they've come up with, and really assess each idea. And then once they've done that, you'll have an innovation plan, and that innovation plan can be used forward, and you can go forward with any of the ideas that you've gone through. So happy to take any questions about the models. Marek is a bit of an expert on these models as well. Please post your questions in the chat box. Next slide, please, Marek. So once you have your innovation plan at the end of the 12 weeks, it's been fully rationalised and supported by the innovation advisor, you'll receive all of that, and you'll be consulted throughout the process. Then you'll get your innovation plan at the end, and that'll have some next steps. So some of the next steps we just wanted to outline for you, because even the next steps might not cost you anything as a business. So just at Staffordshire University, we've got several projects that we could be signposting you to as a next step. So the Pathfinder project could find out that you should launch a new product or a new service to a different market. And to enable you to do that, there are several different avenues that you can go through with Staffordshire University. So I'll just run through those very, very briefly for you. So we do offer prototyping here at the university. We've got very good equipment, very good engineering students, manufacturing students that can actually do CAD design. So if the project suggests a new product or a new service that needs designing, and you want to go forward with it after the Pathfinder project, then we can potentially sign you up for our prototyping projects. And that can actually get you a full prototype within another 12 weeks. So if you think in 24 weeks, you could have your Pathfinder, and then you could go on to the prototyping project and have a full new product designed, ready to go to market within 24 weeks, which is going to cost you absolutely nothing. So you can see how good an opportunity this is. If it's not a physical product that needs designing, if it's a digital product, you've got a new idea for a digital innovation, then we've also got a sister project as well, and that will actually give you 6 months of support to take on that innovation and develop it fully in 6 months. And again, our funding can fund a student or a graduate for 6 months, and that student or graduate will actually do a lot of the legwork and do that innovation for you. So again, post Pathfinder, you could go on to prototyping or digital innovation. And in fact, we've got several other areas as well. So part of the innovation plan could say that you need to look at the intelligent mobility market, which is a massive growing sector that not a lot of people still know about. So it could give you some ideas for new sectors that you didn't really appreciate before. And again, we've got 6 months of funding to give you a graduate to develop new products and services in intelligent mobility sector. It's not just logistics and transport, it's a whole lot bigger than that, and we can go into that in a lot more detail on a future webinar that we've got coming up towards the end of the month. It could suggest that you have follow-up internships or placements. So your students who you have for 12 weeks, they could do a really good job, you could be really getting along with them. One of the options is you could keep them on a part-time basis if you want to carry on some of this work and develop some of this work. The actual plan might suggest that you employ some interns to do some social media work for you, to do some design work, etc., etc. So a follow-up could be to employ students, not just your student that you had on Pathfinder, but other students that we have at the university, other graduates, and we've obviously got that service at the university, and that could be one of the things in your plan to go forward. And the last thing that we think this project will sort of lead to is working with Innovate UK. So the university have a big relationship with Innovate UK and partners. We can apply for government funding for something called a knowledge transfer partnership, and that's a 1 or 2 year partnership with a university and the business in Innovate UK, where we draw down funding. The business pays a little bit towards it, sort of 30%, and then we draw down the funding for the rest. And that can fund a 2 year collaboration to do something really innovative, really cutting edge in your business. Now, the Pathfinder project could come up with ideas for a KTP. So we will then follow it through and apply for that funding with you. As a university, we've got 2 KTPs at the moment, and we're looking to do many more of these things. Innovate UK also have funding calls, and these change quite regularly, and so we can support you with a funding application to get a grant, a smart grant or similar, and we'd be your grant partner and work with you on that grant and delivery of the project of that grant as well. So there's lots of avenues, and this is just touching the iceberg really. Lots more things will come up on your innovation plans, lots more ideas for innovation. So as long as you've got some initial ideas or are open-minded, then the Pathfinder project will find the right routes for you as a business to take advantage of more funding and to grow your business successfully. Next slide, Marek. So that's the Pathfinder project, and that's the post-Pathfinder project routes that we see. For those of you who are going to sign up for Pathfinder, we just want to outline some extra things that might be of interest as well. So funded support for prototyping, I've already mentioned. You can do that as a standalone project if you've already got the idea at the moment, then please speak to us. And might not be that you do Pathfinder first, you go straight to that. However, Pathfinder first will really give some meat on the bones to your idea and really analyze that idea and make sure it's a good one. Again, I've mentioned funded support for innovations in transport, logistics and mobility. We've got a webinar coming up on the 25th of January all about that, and please come along to that for more information. You can apply for that straight away, again, without doing the Pathfinder, but the Pathfinder is a really good one to analyze that idea that you have and see if there's a good market for it before you invest your time for a further 6 months. Something that I run at the university is the incubator and hatchery. What that is it's a business space in our university where businesses can rent either a desk in a hot desking office or rent their own office in a pod, and it's very popular. We've got 11 companies at the moment, and some new companies this week have just signed up for an office. So we've got a really good community of businesses here at the university, and we're growing that over the next year. So we do still have a few spaces left for our hatchery, and we have a few private offices. So if you are looking to relocate and you want to be involved with the university, really good address, really good facilities, you want to work with our students and graduates and academics, then please speak to us. Our prices are really competitive, and we just want the right kind of companies that want to grow. So we do have that facility now at the university. We also have access to specialised equipment, so lots of equipment on campus, from 3D printers to scanners, you name it, we've got it at the university. And so a lot of the projects will be using the equipment at no cost as well. So again, if you want to hire out some of our equipment separately, we're quite open to that if you want to get in touch with us. But if you take part in our projects, a good thing is that the equipment will be used by the students and by the graduates as no cost to you as part of the project. We also have funding to support your business to grow and to develop your staff through CPD and apprenticeships. So CPD is free training. So we've got quite a portfolio now of free training options, and we're doing quite a few webinars just advertising the new courses. So if you are thinking about training your workforce, we have funding where you can do that at no cost. These are quite short courses, and they're really good tasters of different subjects. And we've got several available, such as leadership, etc. So if you're interested in developing your staff and you wanted to look at funded options where you don't have to pay a contribution, then please have a chat with us and we'll run you through the list of available options. And every business on Pathfinder can also then take advantage of staff training. So please contact us. You can hire student and graduate talent. We've got a very good agency here at the university, actually won Unitemps Branch of the Year, which shows you Unitemps is a national organisation with branches all over the UK, and our branch won Branch of the Year. So we're very well thought of by the Unitemps brand. So if you want to hire students, whether they're part-time or full-time, or a placement year, then we've got the service here to find you the students and actually contract the student for you if you want to, even for a 12-week trial period, and then you can recruit them permanently or permanently on a part-time basis. So we've got that option, very good service, and please contact us if you want some information about that. And again, Pathfinder might give you some ideas of where you can hire our talent to diversify and to grow your business. Like I say, we've got lots of talented students, very eager and waiting for these opportunities. And the last thing to mention is innovation support for large employers. So a lot of the support we mention is for SMEs, but we also work with large employers as well. Large employers can apply for a KTP and get 50% funding from the government if they contribute the other 50%. So we're very active with large businesses on apprenticeships as well. So we work with some really big businesses as well as SMEs. So if you are a big business on this call and you're thinking a lot of this doesn't sound for you, then please contact us and we'll have a discussion about what we can do. And larger businesses can apply for the Pathfinder as well. It's not just SMEs, so we're quite open to larger ones as well. Next slide, Marek. So I'd like to invite you to post your questions in the chat box, and myself and Marek will field those questions and answer them the best we can. Also, just to take note of our email address. So if you want an application form for Pathfinder, if you've got any questions following on from this that you want to ask us, please email us at employers@staffs.ac.uk. Also, please take note of our website. It's got all the information on there of all the projects that we've mentioned today, including the Pathfinder project. So a lot more information is there. If you would like our brochure, then please contact us and we will send you one of those out. And we've got lots of upcoming webinars about the various projects that we have available at the university. So for a latest list, go on to the events page and look at our other webinars, and please book on to any that you like the sound of. We try to keep our webinars quite short, around half an hour to 45 minutes, and just give you the facts and let you digest it and then come back to us with any questions. We'll bring this to an end. We'll go to the questions. We have got one question to start with. So what sectors can apply for the project? Don't know if you want to cover that one, Marek.
Yeah, thank you. So we are not prescribing sectors. So at some point we describe what kind of students we have interested or graduates. We work with different ones from the energy, manufacturing, materials, services, creative, and so on. So what I would suggest is submit the application, express some interest, and then we will have a chat with you. But it's open to many sectors.
Excellent. Yeah, so we just want to encourage as many businesses as we can, a diverse range of businesses. So don't worry about your sector and please apply. So the next question, Marek, is if the innovation planning finishes early, what will the Pathfinder student do with the rest of the time? Because obviously it's a 12-week project.
Yeah, so obviously some students, innovation advisor and a company working together can go through the canvas, say in 4 weeks, and they identify potential innovation options, which they will then score using the KTN canvas. They can start developing a product or service. So if they develop the innovation plan early, say by week 5 or 6, they can be spending the rest of their internship and the time together as a partnership towards developing the actual product service or improving the process to tackle the immediate potential, say, quick win innovations or something that they want to kick off with and then potentially prolong after the actual project through other avenues.
Excellent. So it's a really good opportunity, isn't it? Because not only because they have the innovation plans, but actually the student could get cracking and get some good outputs for the company. 12 weeks doesn't sound like a long time, but with the support, I think they'll actually get a lot done, won't they, in that time? So that's great. Just another question here. To clarify, it doesn't cover Stoke. Is it just for Newcastle and the wider Staffordshire area? That's correct. It's just for Newcastle companies and the wider Staffordshire area, not Stoke, just because Stoke already have a funding pot for the same funding. So we're servicing the wider area with this project. Another question's just come in. I'm a large business. Can I have more than one student to support the project? Marek?
Yeah, potentially, yes. Initially we thought it would be one student/graduate per business, but thinking about it and discussion and some feedback, yes, there is an option that you could potentially have, say, 2 students working together if you are a large company or large SME, where it could be potentially cross-discipline, where we could consider, say, a business school student with an engineer or a digital software engineer or something like that. So yes, that is an option.
Excellent. I think that'll work really well as well for cross-discipline working. And that's all the questions then. Unless anyone's got any last-minute ones, we'll like to thank you for your time to come today. Like I say, please contact us for the application form. We can get that out to you straight away, and you can apply for that. Or any other questions about any different projects, just please let us know.
Thank you very much, everyone, for coming today, and have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.